here this evening from my end. Wherever you're streaming in from, I want to say thank you for coming up on board. And it's a good one to have you here. Till next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep All right, so I'm glad to have you here this evening. Thank you for joining me. And of course, you know that whatever we bring to you, we are looking at a very crucial topic at that. And of course, you know that whatever we bring to you is usually very, very timely and vital that can help your child to turn out to better. So this month we're looking at how you can raise a financially independent child or a financially intelligent child. So, because a financially intelligent child is that child who is also financially independent. And thank you for joining me here this evening. As soon as you come up on board, I'd like you to just share with us where you're streaming in from, your name, and where you're streaming in from. We'll be glad to have you. We don't expect that this takes long time tonight as we talk about this subject matter. You know that we are in a time and in a season where the economic situation is not friendly and where it seems as though people are struggling here and there. And this is the best time to also teach your child with that skill of financial intelligence that they need to become financially independent and financially intelligent. If you do not do this, they will become a prey in the environment and they will also become slaves instead of they to become kings. We believe that you can raise a child that is financially intelligent who is not a problem to you. And so this is this kind of child. For you to be able to raise this kind of child, it means that you must be a financially intelligent person. All right. Child. Or what then is financial excuse me intelligence. All right, there are two keywords speaking basically about what financial intelligence is, and first is finance, the second is intelligence. All right, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. So truly you want to ask who is then a financial or what is financial intelligence. So we are looking at two keywords here: finance and intelligence. Okay, and this is highly important that we know that there are basic intelligence that is needed for you to raise in your child. We want to talk about social intelligence, spiritual intelligence, financial intelligence I'm talking about today, emotional intelligence. And if there is any one of these you have missed before now, we have them right on this channel. You can just check up on this channel to check up on all of those ones that you have missed. But right here and there today, like I have said, we're looking at financial intelligence. So what is financial intelligence? What is financial intelligence? Really, what it is? What is it? Are you intelligent as a person financially? Okay, you want to find out today. So when we say financial intelligence, it actually refers to the ability and the understanding that you have to manage personal finances effectively. That helps you to be able to make informed decision when it comes to the issue of finances. Many people do not have this skill personally. So when you give them opportunity to handle finance, one of the things that will happen is that they will make a mess of it because personally they are not skillful when it comes to finances. A skill you don't have, you cannot wish for it. It just happens that you also have this intelligence skill as your, as a parent, so that you can also be able to inculcate the same to your child. Because if you don't have it, you will struggle to raise one. All right. So do not forget that this financial intelligence is that skill that helps you to be able to manage your finances personally. It helps you to be able to understand personal finances effectively. It helps you to make informed decisions so you can achieve financial stability, security, and success. Now, on the other end, financial intelligence also requires external support. So you would want to understand that if you are financially intelligent, then it is highly possible that you can be financially independent because you would have gained preeminence on how to manage your finances by making informed decisions. It has helped you to be able to achieve financial stability, security, and success. So that's why if you are financially intelligent, then you will be able to be independent also financially. Now, when it comes to a child, a financially intelligent child is that child that possesses the knowledge, that is the know-how. That child has the skills and also the necessary values that enables the child to make what? To make money, to manage money wisely, and to make informed financial decisions, thereby helping the child to cultivate a healthy relationship with money. So this is why it is highly important that your child to cultivate a healthy relationship with money. Many of us, even as parents, do not have healthy relationship with money. This is why money is not staying in our hands. This is why it looks as though we have become an enemy to money because we have not been skilled up to manage money effectively. As it's coming to our hand, it's going. And some of us make money, and the way we make it is how the money is also traveling away from our hands. This is because we have poor relationship with money. And for your child to be financially intelligent, your child needs to know the necessary skills and values and also the knowledge that is needed to handle finances. So what are now the key traits you can see in it is that your child will understand basic money concepts when it comes to earning money, saving money, spending money, and also sharing. So your child is not just looking for money that is flying on the air. No, your child understands that money is worked for and the money comes. Your child knows that you get money as a result of sharing value or rendering services, and then money comes to your hands. Your child knows that even while a child, she or he can also still get something and begin to save. So upon getting money, your child is not lavishing the money immediately, but your child knows how best to do what? To save, knows which portion to spend, and how it is that you can invest, and when it is needed, also can share with others. Number two trait you can find in the life of that your child is that your child sets financial goals. Your child has a financial vision board to say, okay, by the year, so, this is where I want to be financially. This is the roadmap I need to get to for me to get what I want financially in this year. So that vision exists in the head of your child and has also been penned down. Okay, so your child has a financial goals and knows how to prioritize their needs above their wants. They don't use the money that they are given now to just go and buy biscuit and finish all by just buying biscuit. But your child have been able to know how best to handle money that comes to his or her hand. So your child can know what to do part time with the money in their hands. They can save up when it's needed. They can use part of the money that has been saved part of the money that have been saved to do what their plan is for it to be used for. So they are not emotional about how they spend the money at all because they have been taught, because they are well skillful on it. So this is highly important that your child knows this and then your child can walk through this in that dimension. Okay, so another thing you want to know about the traits to notice from the life of your child, apart from the fact that your child is able to understand basic money concepts or principles, set financial goals and all, your child also knows how to save on regular basis. And your child understands that this money can multiply in the nearest future. So your child is not wanting to spend the money now. So your child have learned what we call delayed gratification. That has made your child to be able to deprive themselves of the immediate pleasure to save for the rainy day. Number three, your child have been able to make smart spending decisions by avoiding impulse purchases. Many of us as parents, we have not even learned how to make these smart spending decisions. We buy at impulse. Somebody came and saying, this is the next thing that we are selling you, to do this to you, to do that for you. Just buy it, just buy. And you never plan to buy it, but because people are buying it around you, or because it's appealing to your emotion at that moment, you just buy it. That's impulse buying. And buying on impulse does not make you to be able to gather money, because as you are having the money, you'll be spending it. So everybody, imagine 10 persons come to patronize, come to advertise something to me, and I just want to buy at impulse too. So that's how I would spend money that I wasn't planning to spend in the day, and I would have finished spending all. All right. So this actually is one skill you must begin to teach your child, that you don't engage in impulse buying. But what should you do? What should you do? Plan ahead. Plan ahead before you do what? Before you spend. Highly important that you begin to know that whatever you must buy must be that you have prioritized that this is really a need at the moment. After your needs are met, you might not want to say, okay, can I now buy this? Or can I now buy that? Can I now do this? Or can I now do that? So, but if your child has not been taught how to focus first of all on the need that the child has, the child will just engage in using the money at hand to buy things at impulse, at the spur of the moment. Before you know it, there's nothing to gather up. There's nothing to save for the raining day. There's nothing in stock. Everything has been lavished. And so this is why I said, for you to be able to raise that kind of child that is financially intelligent, you as a parent must model it. Number five, you need to recognize the importance of budgeting and tracking expenses. As parents, even as adults, many of us are still struggling with budgeting. This month, this is how much that came into my hands, and this is how I'm going to spend it. And for budgeting for children, you don't have to make it complicated. It should be as simple as income and expenses. What is the money that have come in? How much of the money that have come in will I do what? Will I spend? You can teach them the 50-30 rule. 50% to be saved, to be spent on their needs, 30% to be saved, 20% to be served, to be used for servicing their wants. When they understand these basic principles, it helps them. Another trait that your child should have when it comes to financial intelligence is that your child live a life free of debt and understand credit responsibilities. Many of us, even as adults, we have not learnt this. People will come and say, you can buy this now and pay me later. By the time you are paying later, it's either that you are paying with fighting or with wahala, or it's either that you are paying at a higher rate because you have bought on credit, and you begin to have a burden. In fact, even the Holy Scriptures says, Romans 13:8, it says, do not do what owe anyone except for love. So when you begin to allow your child to understand this principle of not owing anybody, of living a debt-free life, then they will live by the little things coming into their hands, and they will not begin to live fake life. Many of us as adults even live by loan. You use loan to buy house, use loan to buy car, use loan to do this one, loan to do that one. And so there's really nothing we have gathered up that is by the things we have saved up all of the while. Now, the next trait that is expected for your child to have is your child should be able to invest in the future. It's not a bad thing if your child can have an account that they feed or save a portion of what comes into their hands, maybe on monthly basis. There, it's not in the bigness of the money, but in the consistency. Before you know it, it becomes something big for them. They can then use the money maybe for to sponsor the education in the nearest future, to buy something for them, or to start up a bigger business for them, or to involve in skill development. Any of these ones will just help them. And then you want to also know that your child that is financially intelligent will be able to give back to others through charitable giving. Because if your child have been able to follow these things you have been teaching the child, then the child will not just be focusing on themselves, but would have had enough and be able to also share with others. Remember that we said that a financially intelligent child is that child who has who is skillful, who has the knowledge, who has the ability, the values, and the skills to be able to do what? To earn money, to save money, and to do what? To share with others. So it won't be a hard thing for your child to be able to share with you first as a parent, and with people who are in need. And this is especially people that are not really understanding about all these things. So another trait is that your child will seek financial knowledge and guidance. Because as they grow, there are some decisions they might not be able to make. That's why it's good that you begin to teach them how to make these financial decisions, the little ones. And as they grow, they help teach them to also ask for guidance, counseling on areas where they are not truly truly, they are not really, they do not really understand what to do. They should seek for knowledge. When they seek for knowledge and guidance, it helps them to be able to make informed decision. So maybe there's a business somebody have painted to them that do this one, you get that one. Especially in these days where there are a lot of such illegitimate businesses online and even on ground. Somebody have cajoled them to say if you pay this, you get this, put 30% down, you get 100% in returns. And that is attractive to the child. But when you have taught the child to always seek for guidance, the child will feel like, well, even though this looks attractive, can I seek for help? Can I ask some questions? Can I meet a professional? Can I even tell my parents and all? And in this bit of seeking for help, the child would have escaped from all of the errors that they would have fallen into. And the next one is that your child would have developed patience and delayed gratification. And there are games your children can involve in that can help them to delay their gratifications. You can get them games, you can get them puzzles, you can get them highly thinking games that can help them to be more creative and tease their brain, help them to also develop delayed gratification. And you, as the parent, you have toddlers, don't say it's too early for them. They don't understand anything. They understand a lot. When they are giving something, whether it's biscuits, it's sweet, or any small thing like that, do not say, they are children, let them take it now. And all, let them deprive themselves for that moment to say, I will take it later. Maybe in the nearest 2 hours or 1 hour or the whole day or the next day. And that is helping them to begin to know that everything that comes into my hand, I should not even take it immediately. It's building up patience and delayed gratification in them. Now, what then are the skills that your child needs to become a financially intelligent child? Number one skill is budgeting and financial planning. Your child needs to be taught budgeting and planning financially. Number two is saving and investing. Your child needs to learn to save. Your child needs to learn to invest. And your child needs to have critical thinking and decision making. This is very important that you begin to inculcate this skill into your child. Remember that I said some games are very important and needful for your child to develop all these things. There are games that can help your child to develop critical thinking and can help them to make informed decision. Monopoly is good, Scrabble, and you have a whole lot of Lego, a whole lot of games on Lego. You have Mozus and a whole lot of them. They are just to go, and these things are not expensive. It is just based on your priority and belief or understanding about all of these things. This, and you see, you want to also teach your child, because one of the skills your child needs is basic mathematics and financial calculations. They cannot calculate 15 naira plus 15 naira. Basically, it becomes a problem. And when you now say 15 naira plus 200 naira, then they don't know. So you need to start from the basis for them gradually, and then begin to do what? Begin to teach them the necessary things and take it up higher and higher, gradually and gradually. To learn more maths is not to hire a lesson teacher, a lesson maths teacher, or to do extramural lesson class. It is you mathematics, learning mathematics actually is embedded in you exposing your child to cooking activities, because there are a lot of analytical thinking involved in cooking. Before you cook any dish, you think of the ingredients, the quantity of the ingredient, the time, the real time to add ingredient A to ingredient B. It is that after you have done this, you need to do this. And all of those calculations are very important. And maybe you don't have a quantity, a required ingredient in the right quantity. You want to think of, okay, what can I do to augment and all of those things. So embrace cooking for your child. Let your child be involved in cooking. Don't say the child is too young, the child cannot understand, and all of those things. Let the child begin to learn. While in kitchen, the child begin to learn better mathematics skill. Number 7 is that your child needs time management skill and prioritization. Time management skill and prioritization. Even as adults, many of us are struggling with managing our time. Time is the smallest unit of destiny. And so if somebody succeeds to waste your 10 minutes every day, 10 minutes times 365 days in a year, that's a whole lot. So it means that such amount of time of your life has been wasted. So you're here watching me or listening to me. And if whatever value you're getting here is not adding up to your destiny, then it's a sheer waste of time. And this is why you then need to begin to put into the child how to manage the skill for them to manage their time. How can you do this? You can do this by helping them to plan their day's activity, the chores for the day, the whole activity of the day from when they wake up to when they sleep, including in time, and help them to track it. Whoever meets up with it gets an award, gets a recognition, no matter how small or how little it is, those things will add up to them and make sense to them. Before you know it, they want to commit to managing their time, and then they grow up with that mentality. Today we have a slogan in Nigeria. We say it is African mentality, African time. There's something like African time. It is because we have allowed it. So it's a limiting belief. Okay. So when we say 10 o'clock a.m., 10 a.m. should be 10 a.m. And there are skills for you to be able to. It first of all is the thing of the mind to say 10 a.m. Should I be there by 10? Or once it's 10 is when I should leave. You have to model this to them first of all. My own mother taught me time management skill. And those days when we have to go and cover events, and as a professional photographer, you have to be there early enough, because while you're there early enough, even before the main event starts, you have taken some people's picture, you have gathered up some money and all of those before the main event starts. And so you can see the beauty of how events started, and you'll be the person to even hand the place, end at the location. Why? Because you also see make some skills even after then. And I had to be up and doing to learn the skill. It could take years. That's the truth of the matter. But the consistency of inputting that skill is what will make that child to become a good manager of their time. The next skill they need is the skill called research and information gathering. Before they decide to make any financial decision, it has to be an informed one. It has to be based on knowledge. It has to be based on facts and figures. And for them to do this, it means that you have taught them how to make research and to gather information on necessary things they want to do before they even step out. When it comes to the issue of finances, it's also not a no-no, but it's something you want to look into for them to be able to embrace. Now, what are the values they should have? They must have the value called responsibility and accountability. You see, responsibility is that innate ability inside of you that you respond to. So it's called responsibility. Okay, so you respond to the innate ability inside of you. Every child has that responsibility. And the rule for responsibility is for you not to do what a child can do for them. If a child can lift a cup from another to another place, you should not carry that cup for that child. If a child can do a particular chores, do not do that work for that child. Because the moment you continue to do that, the more you will render that child responsible. And when the child grows up, you then begin to say, you're very irresponsible. You don't even know how to do anything, but you caused it because you were doing everything for the child. That's why we now have adults who are also grown-ups, but they don't know how to do anything. They are not responsible to themselves, neither are they responsible to people in their lives, and they don't even have accountability of any sort. So you want to allow your children to make you their accountability partner, to say, Mom, these are the things I planned for this time. Today, maybe first of all, this is what I planned today to do by the end of today. So please ask me if I'm able to do this. That way, they are beginning to have an accountability sense. And before they even get to that state of saying you should help them to say, Mommy, I want to do this today, just come and be my accountability partner. You have taught them to say, these are the responsibilities you must do today and throughout this week. When you do A, B, C, D, E, at the end of the week, you get this. You'll be accountable to this. You'll be accountable to that. And you'll get this reward. And once they know that you are fair and just on that, they will consistently deliver. Number 2 value is financial discipline and self-control. Many of us are not financially disciplined. We don't know how to tame ourselves. We just do things as it dey hot, as it dey come, as the thing dey sweet our body, even if the information that we have gathered about the thing is not really jamming, we just launch at it until we now enter into a ditch before we then know the right thing to do. This is not the way to go. So this is why you also need to teach your child to have financial discipline. But the best way your child can have this financial discipline is when they learn it from you. Is when they see you practice it. They see that that is very discreet with how he spends his money. He will not just spend anyhow. He has to plan for it. And when today you come say, hey, mommy, I need this for this, I need that for that, and he's beginning to say this, say that, and you see that this thing is really a want, not a need. You say, okay, boy, I've heard you, but this will be attended to next month. And you do that consistently. The child knows that when it comes to buying some things that I want, my daddy will not answer until he has planned for it. But if it's something that is urgent and is a need, okay, the child daddy may want to also do what? Plan and also do attend to it. But the father, first of all, will first attend to the need before attending to the wants. That way the father is doing what? Is inculcating the right principle of finances to the child. Number 3, gratitude and appreciation for what they have. They don't need to have everything, but the little they have, teach them to appreciate it. Even the Holy Scripture says, in all things, give thanks. So gratitude actually is the ability for us to look at what is working and just be grateful for them. Look at what is working in our lives within us and around us and just be thankful. All right. And you can start by opening up a gratitude journal for them, or they can have a gratitude jar that they begin to feed, write what they are grateful for in the day and drop them. Maybe you have toddlers, you feel they cannot write, you can begin to write for them and maybe, aren't you grateful that you could eat today? Say, yes, mommy. Okay, so you write for the child and then drop consistently. So when the child now becomes a preteen, you then begin to allow the child to begin to write it. It doesn't matter whether the spellings are not correct or all of those things. It's not in a perfection, but they continue to do it. They continue to do it. The more they continue to do it, the better they will own up that system themselves and then begin to write journal and long-term thinking. They are thinking of the long-term benefits of the action they want to take, not just the immediate gratification. Because in the immediate, it might be soothing to the flesh, but how about in the long run? So you want to teach them to think deeply, especially into the future than in the now. So this step I want to take as it relates to my finances, how is it going to help me in the long term? How is it going to help me in the short term? You teach them patience, you teach them trust, you teach them patience and teach them long-term thinking. They're not just thinking in the immediate. Number 6, integrity and transparency. Many parents do not have integrity of heart. You say, when I'm coming back, I'll buy biscuit for you. From when they were toddlers. When you come back, mom, you said you were going to, and you know children will never forget. You know, come on, mom, you said you were going to buy biscuit for me. Said I'll buy biscuit for you. When did I say that? No, 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 no. And then the child begins to lose trust in you. Like, what daddy said or mommy said she was going to buy biscuit for me and all. So what you are doing actually is to model that kind of life to your child. Before you know it, the child too will play you and say, mommy, I'll do it, don't worry, I'll do it for you. I'll do it. And then you believe the child that the child is going to do that work for you. When you come back home, how far have you finished whatever you said you're going to do? You say, no, mommy, I didn't say I was going to do it though. And blah blah blah. Before you know it, you are also confused. But it's what you have modeled to the child. You see where parenting is very hard. This is why we need to do the needful. The last one here is respect for the value of money. People have entitlement mentality. They feel, hey, should he not do this for me? Should he not do that for me? After all, I have done this for him too. I've done that for him. So if he did that for me, then I want it and all of that. Many people get golden opportunity of enrolling for some courses or buying some books for free, but they don't read it. They don't appreciate the value of the courses that they've enrolled for. Why? Because it is free. That's a mentality that it is very wrong. But when you begin to teach it, that you teach your child to say, whether you get something for free or somebody even thought of you and said, I brought this sweet, even if it is 10 naira sweet for you. You say, me, you're buying sweet 10 naira for me. Does that mean that my worth is 10 naira? That's an entitlement mentality. But for you to say, oh, thank you. You were really thinking of me. You bought me sweet. Oh, I'm so grateful for the sweet. Now, what that has taught what we can learn from that is that the child has learned to know that for somebody to even think about buying something for him, that means that he has taken a place in the heart of that person who have bought such for him. And so you begin to teach your child to be grateful for everything around them, to also have respect for the value of things that money have bought for them, or what money cannot even buy. You got home and then you bought a loaf of bread, and then you gave it to your child. The child said, so it's only loaf of bread you bought, and then dropped it somewhere. And you're looking at the child. You should not look at the child that way, because if you do not correct it, it will become a monster. So you correct it by saying, what if I came home without buying anything? You should still be grateful that I came home alive. You should still be grateful that I came home rejoicing. You should still be grateful that you still have a mother today, and learn to be grateful. You should appreciate me in your life, well, not because of what I can buy or what I have bought or what I will buy. That is what will help the child to become the best in life. And as you begin to, and the child will begin to do what? Have respect for the value of money. So you want to say, okay, it might not be expensive, but I bought this because of the value that it will deliver to you. All right, very important. And if you do afterwards. Now, let's look at age appropriate financial intelligence based on their age category. So if you have preschoolers from age 3 to 5, you want to teach them basic money recognition. Can they recognize your currency? That this is 50 naira, 10 naira, and all? That's basic thing you want to teach them. If you have preschoolers from age 3 to 5, you want to teach them basic money recognition. This is money that came in for this month. This is the money they want to know for this month. You also want to begin to teach them how to save and share. When it comes to came and save me 1,000 and 10,000 or 1,000, I save. And as I save, what happen? Is growing. Let them see, let it be a transparent jar that are using to save the money. So they are seeing how the money is building up. That will gladden their heart. Okay. Maybe you now have elementary schoolers from age 6 to 10. What do you now want to do? You want to teach them, in addition to the other ones, you want to teach them how to earn and spend money. You want to teach them how to earn money and how to spend money. Don't say they are too early and they are too young. What do you know about money? You know many things. When my children started playing some games and doing some handcrafts and all, I told them that after you have done this, now you could sell them. Sell them to people around you, whether your auntie or in church, you can sell them. And as you sell, the money is yours, it's not mine. You say, wow, yes, it is, you can sell, right? You can also teach them basic budgeting and savings. Teach them basic income and basic expedition. This is money that came in for this month. This is the money that will go out for this month. Preteens from the age of 11 to 13, you want to teach them advanced budgeting. Teach them advanced budgeting and financial planning. Yes, so be grateful for the little thing, my sister. Be grateful. Now, teach them advanced budgeting. While you had them as preteens, you've taught them, while you had them as elementary schoolers, right? You have taught them basic earning and spending. But now that they are preteens from age 11 to 13, what should you do? Teach them financial goal settings. Teach them what financial goal settings. What are my goals financially? How do I want to achieve them? What time do I want to achieve them? Is this goal realistic? Will I be able to measure this goal? Will I be able to achieve this goal? Teach them basic smart financial goal setting in their own simple terms that they will understand. And then introduce to them investment and compound interest. So if you invest your money in the next 3 years, it would have yielded this amount of money. And in the next 1 year, it would have yielded this amount of money. And then they are interested. So whether it is 1% or 10% or whatever percent that have entered, have accrued to the money they put in, is something that they should want to think to say, I want to do it. Now, if you now have teenagers, in addition to all the things you have taught them as when they were preschoolers, elementary schoolers, pre-teens, now that they are teenagers, teach them advanced budgeting and financial planning. Teach them credit and debit education. Very important. Maybe the basic ones was what they know about budgeting, income and expenditure. You want to teach them that, okay, there's need for savings, investment, and all of that. Also being channeled into the budgeting for the month. And if the budget for this month did not work, you want to teach them how to reshuffle that same budget for that month and do what? And plan ahead for the next month. That way they are improving their financial skill. Now, in addition, you want to teach them credit and debit education. What comes in, what goes out. Basic understanding of what that is. Very important for them. Maybe they have ATM cards and then you're teaching them how to use them. And when money comes in and when money goes out, this is what happens and all of those stuffs. You want to teach them independent financial decision making. The child came home and said, I need a shoe, I want to do this, I want to do that. Then you ask the child, so if you buy this, what's going to happen? If you don't buy it now, is there anything you're losing? Okay, do you have as much as the money required to buy this? If yes, okay, go ahead. If no, you want to save up to add up to the money you currently have so you could buy. And then the child is thinking, oh, okay. Now, before you know, the child can independently make some purchase or make some financial decisions as they are growing. Back then, when I was in early secondary school, I used to save, contribution, a portion of the money given to me as my stipend for the month or for the week rather. I will save and save and save. I saved up to an amount of money and then I used them to buy some basic things I needed, like shoes, like clothes, and some basic things I needed. I was glad that it was me that bought them myself, that it wasn't mommy or daddy. And you see, it gives them joy. Allow them to have that freedom. Allow them to be independent that way. Allow them to grow with it. And that you're not the one giving them money like that. If you now have adults from the age of 19 upward, teach them advanced investment and financial planning. Teach them basic retirement savings and plan. They don't have to retire before they are not planning their lives. Because by the time they are age 19, whether they are employed and collecting salary every month or not, they should have skills that is generating money for them. They should be able to render service that is generating money for them. They should be able to have maybe one thing or the other that they are doing that is bringing money for them. They have learned how to save and invest. So by the time they are doing this for themselves, they should also have a plan for when they are retiring, even if they are working. What is the retirement savings? So while they are working, they are saving a portion somewhere they are not going to touch for years till maybe they retire. Apart from the fact that we have insurance companies that do this for us as a company or as an employee of an organization. So you want to teach your child to do this personally because systems fail. Even if the system will not fail, it's an added advantage, you have from this end and you have from that other end. You want to teach them independent financial responsibilities. While they are under you, you should not be buying everything for them. No. Let them make some financial decisions. Now that they are working, part of your money use it to do this, part of your money use it to do that. And as they do that, they also buy joy, delight. Oh, I'm becoming an adult. So the day they finally leave your house, they're not feeling like, they are really going to miss something. Now that daddy is not there, mommy is not there, and then they are just left to themselves. No. Now, so let's talk about the benefits of financial intelligence. And number one is that you will gain financial stability and security. Financial stability and security is one thing you will have. That maybe there's an emergency that happened, you are not running here and there because you are financially intelligent. You have set up all of those plans and stuffs. And so based on the plan that is existing, financial goals you have set, you are able to stabilize. In the midst where everybody is running up and down, saying, hey, what's going to happen today? How am I going to do this? And all of those things. You are stable financially. And you are able to do what? To have security financially. You say, okay, if this happens or that happens, I've saved up this amount, even if it's not going to be up to what I really expect, but that will do something. Number two is that you have reduced stress and anxiety. You will not, instead of stressing yourself unnecessarily, that will not be the case because you are financially intelligent. Instead of you to be anxious for nothing because of finances, because you don't have what to eat or what to drink, you have planned every bit of your life financially, and then it makes things work out the way it should. And then number three, you have increased savings and wealth. People find it hard to save, no matter how small it is. It is a menace. And if as an adult you are finding it hard to save, your child will never save. As a child is planning to save, you say, borrow me this money, I'll give you later, and then you'll not give it back. You need to remove your eye from the money of your child. As they are giving the child the money, put it there. Just know it's not your money. Assume the money is not there. Allow the child take delight in buying, in saving their money, and that their money is secure. So when they are planned, they are financially intelligent, one of the things that will happen to them is that they have increased savings, their money would have increased, and then they are wealthy. You see, when they grow up with that mentality, with the skillfulness as they are under you, when they become adults, they are not struggling to become wealthy. Many of us today are not wealthy because we lack this skill while we're being parented by whoever parented us. Number four, improved credit score and financial flexibility. When you are financially intelligent, your credit score will increase. Instead of living a debit life, a life that is full of debts here and there, your credit score would have increased. You have so much money that that you have for yourself. Not that you just are lavishing the money as they are coming, you are spending it, but instead of you living a debt full life, you are living a debt free life. And then I'm not a financial guru, the financial professional, anyways, but my understanding is to say that the fact that we even have a financial budget should not and does not mean that it cannot be flexible. And as flexible as it is, it should not water down the whole essence of it. You must learn to stick to your laid down budgeting. Number five, you have better investment decisions. When you are financially intelligent, you have better investment decisions. Number six, enhance financial independence. Your financial independence would have improved. I started by saying that if you are financially intelligent, you will be financially independent. So while you are intelligent financially, your being financially independent would have improved drastically. Lastly, you have greater peace of mind. Many people do not have peace of mind today because they don't have money anywhere, no savings anywhere, nothing is happening. It looks as though they are living from hands to mouth, and then they are just struggling because they do not have these skills right here and there, and they have not taught their children how to. So the children they are raising today will come up sometimes when they become adults, where they are now grandparents, also going through that route that they went through under their parents. And then the parents will be expecting that the children should do something for them. But the child cannot do what they've not been taught. So they will go back to the same square root that the parents were. So, parents, this is a clarion call. Rise up to begin to teach your child the knowledge that they need, the basic skills that they need, the basic values that they need to become financially intelligent. When you do this, it is to your freedom, first of all. You have greater peace of mind. When you finish raising them, it will come back to you as an harvest because parenting is seed time and harvest. You start having the harvest even while they are under you. And then when you get married, you will have a dividend, a bumper harvest of such coming back to you. So, my dear parents, let's be intentional with raising children that are financially intelligent. Lastly, let me take us through the characteristics of a financial intelligent individual, maybe for you or even for your child. Number one, financial discipline and self-control. Discipline is needed. Discipline is not beating, it's not, discipline is the structure you have put in place, and you have put yourself under self-control based on that structure that you have set financially. Very important. Number two, you have long-term thinking and planning. You plan ahead 5 years from now, where do I want to be financially? And then you do the map and all of, and you are working towards it. So meaning that it's possible that your job change in the next 5 years because of that plan. And you're working to it. I mean, working after it step by step. Number three, you have risk management and adaptability skill, meaning that you're able to adapt to situations around you and you're able to manage the risk around you. The truth is, life is full of risk and there are risks everywhere. So the fact that some things or most things are risky is not for us to run away from them, but do we know how to manage those risks to the barest minimum and then still adapt to the situation? Just still, for instance, we are in a risky moment in the nation Nigeria and maybe elsewhere where economic meltdown is happening, where a lot of people are just trying to survive. But in the midst of all of these risks, many people are seeing the risk and they are seeing opportunity to tap into to make wealth. Why not you? So these are things you should begin to teach your children. You can begin to think of what can be solutions to people, even in this hard time. In the time of COVID, we saw how a lot of things were not working normally as they should, but that was a time where a lot of people rose up, a lot of lives rose up, a lot of ideas came to people, a lot of businesses started, a lot of expansion started. Microfinance banks have been existing before then, but COVID period and the time of, the time where we had the issue of not buying, not cash issue, where we were told not to buy with money, but except by transferring, then made them to become more visible. Almost everybody now has microfinance bank account. Look at look at risk around you. Know how to manage them and seize them as opportunity for you to try. Now, number 4 is continuous learning and improvement. You don't learn, you don't become. You don't improve. You're just who you are. Status quo remains, and that will not better anybody, not even you. So begin to invest in continuous learning. The scripture says, buy the truth and sell it not. So there are some of these truths that will not come to you free. You will have to buy and pay heavily for them because knowledge is not cheap. The scripture says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So you must not be part of those who will perish as God's own people, but seek for superior knowledge. When it comes to the area of finances, if you need to speak to a professional on these financial issues, go ahead. Why not? Number 5, smart spending is very important. You spend smartly and save continuously in trickles. Very important. A little drop here, a little drop here, it becomes a mighty ocean. And then number 6, investment savvy. Very important. And diversification. Invest and diversify. Invest and diversify. Invest and diversify. So here, so there, so here, so there. For you do not know which one will bring forth a proper harvest. But allow your mind to truly be made up by making informed decisions based on the knowledge you've gathered on such before you take a step ahead. And then number 7 is that you will have emergency preparedness and resilience. When you are financially intelligent as a person, you'll be ready for any emergency and you'll be able to pull through any hard situation. I see your question here. How can we invest for kids? There are so many ways you can invest for your kids depending on what you're looking at. Maybe you're looking at on the family ground, you want to start saving, first of all, to invest into something bigger. You can buy shares for your children in the name of your children. You can save for them. You can do insurance for the children. It's like a saving scheme. You can walk up to banks. They can help you on this, and then you save in their names. All right. Some of them accrues under 3 years, under 5 years. You can use that money to maybe buy something very important for them or spend that money on the education. Okay, so there are various ways you can invest. You can buy landed properties in their names. When they grow up, the landed property document is handed over to them. If you go and buy and you don't do anything on it, the money of the nation Nigeria will come after you, right? So buy the land. After a few years, it would have appreciated, even if you are not going to use that land. But then by the time you are reselling, it's a huge amount of money for them. So there are a whole lot of things you can look into by investing for the children. And then number 8 is investing for the children. I want to say thank you for coming up on board. The network was kind of fluctuating here and there, but here we are. But done it eventually. Thanks be to God. Right? I don't know if you have got any questions from here tonight. You need clarity and all, and any of those things, just drop it. And then you will have answer or peace. Now, newsflash. Have you registered for the next cohort parenting accountability support system? If no, what are you waiting for? Register. What you are listening to here is well curated. That we enter into a well-structured system with a well-curated curriculum that can help you these webinars, but these webinars are not just for just do something. It's holding you by the hand, saying this is how to go, and then you're encouraged by even seeing other parents that are doing the same thing, sharing their stories and all. You'll be encouraged to know that, oh, I'm not the only one in this. So these are the children too. Okay, no problem, then I can get better and all. So the registration is ongoing. You want to get registered, you drop a chat in the comment box. We'll get back to you, right? Get registered by booking your slot just for 5,000 naira. The annual tuition fee is just 50,000 naira for an individual. So in total, you are paying 55,000 for the year round. So is 50,000 divided by 365 days. How much is that? So it means that in a day, you are paying 136 naira, less than 150 naira per day. So if you do this for 365 days, you have gathered up your money for the academy. So register now. Don't wait till someone else registers before you register. And if you want to register as a couple, husband and wife, there's a discounted rate. So instead of paying 100,000, you'll be paying 90,000 naira as a couple. Tell all your friends, all the people around you, all your your parenting partners, all your colleagues at work, your in-laws and everyone around you, people who are into childcare, your teachers, they are your I mean, I was in where I was privileged to talk about this and they were wow. There are things that many people do not know. It's called superior knowledge. And when you know, the world will be a better place when the other person knows, the other person knows, and then the world would experience light. I thank you for coming up on board today. I want to say thank you for joining me. Next month will also be gathered here by the special grace of God. Registration has started, and by December 1st, we start the new session. Have an amazing evening. Bye for now. Thank you.